Alright folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Put in the Healing Back in Health. Once again, check out the website. Get your free downloads, Setting Goals, Fitness, and Nutrition. Follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there coming at you today with a video on why eating in large groups can help you lose weight. That can be one of the best things to help you lose weight. Now, of course, there is a downfall to this, right? Because when I talked about how I lost all of my weight, I pretty much shut the entire world off, right? So what happened was, on my journey, I lost 60 pounds and 50 pounds in 6 months. And what I did was, I didn't go to any family functions. I didn't go to friends' barbecues. I didn't do anything like that. I kind of just isolated myself from the world and worked on myself. And sometimes that's the best thing. But once again, there are times when we need a cheat meal, or we just feel so isolated. If, you know, I'm an only child, so isolation is not really a big thing for me. You know, that I think that's one benefit of being an only child. Excuse me. And then one of the dangers, I guess, it could create, you know, a person, it could make a person antisocial or very insecure in large groups, unfortunately. But when it comes down to it, what I'm about to talk about can also help people in those areas. But why eating in large groups can ultimately help with weight loss is because, once again, you're eating, and instead of talking, or instead of eating all the time, you're talking and you're interacting with others. So I guess the downfall as well would be, is your family healthy, right? If your family is somewhat healthy, then of course you're going to do less eating and more talking, especially if it's people you haven't met in a while, especially if you're a very outgoing and social person. For me, I could really care less. My family will just sit there and watch the game, and it's go to town time, right? So once again, it's putting yourself in the right situation. Because unfortunately, if you also have a family that's just majorly overweight, you could struggle. But once again, that's a benefit. You know, one thing maybe you could try, and I wouldn't do it. Maybe now it could be a little bit different, but I remember going to Bonefish Grill once with a friend, and it was Friday, Saturday night, you know, when they're usually their busiest, and we're like, oh, can we sit at the bar? They're like, yeah, there's 2 seats in between that whole group, and I've never been there before, so all they had was a large table, right? Large table that seated probably 40, and there was just 2 chairs right across from each other in the middle of that entire table. So you're just sitting around strangers. And I guess for some people, if you're a very sociable person and you like to chat, that would be something good. But once again, you know, when I go out with people, I want to be able to have a conversation with the person I'm eating with. So it can be distracting having all these people around you. But I can understand. I would assume it's more of maybe kind of an Italian restaurant, maybe. Or inspired by, you know, a European type environment. So I could see that helping and being something positive. Just for me, it wasn't. But once again, just eating in large groups. But once again, that means you have to be the social person to where you're not eating and you're talking, right? Because my cousin's that way. It can just be him and I could eat my entire plate and he's got about 4 bites down. And that's because we're talking. He likes to talk. I'll just eat and listen, right? So you've got to be the person that talks and not the person that just eats and listens, right? So that's where you have to be that social person in order for this to actually work, right? And then once again, when you have these family functions or these large outings like this, you have to be the one that brings that healthy dessert or that healthy food, the healthy dish, the healthy tray of some way, shape, or form. So now you can introduce these healthy eating practices and dishes and things that people think are gross or not, probably don't really taste that well. Now you can be the person to introduce these to family members, right? That's like when I met a few people now that I've become more involved in the Catholic world. You meet people, you start going out, and they're like, oh, have you ate this? It's like they want to go to, you know, funky restaurants. Like, I don't even know what the heck that is. It makes you feel like you're not even as cultured, right? Because, oh, have you tried this from this restaurant? It's like, I don't even eat at these types of restaurants. You know, I don't go to these types of places. And then all of a sudden you feel almost that sense of inferiority because you don't even know what's going on, what to order or things like that, right? So there you go. Something to think about, eating in large groups. But once again, you have to be the social one. You have to open up, and it's only going to make you better in the long run if you're an antisocial person, right? So think of it that way. It's helping you in the long run. So once again, food for thought. Digest it a little bit. See how you can incorporate it in your life, or you can share this information with someone else to help them. Don't forget to follow them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there as well. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.